We've started talking about something in Grand Round that it really isn't anything anywhere else except for we've tried to use a term to capture things that we're observing, and we call it Shawash Kagwa, which in our language, Chinook Wawa, means the Indian way of doing things. And how I try to explain that is it's like managing for abundance within a system. And so that, the waiting 5 days is kind of an example of that. You're managing for abundance. The actual act of harvest of a plant resource or game doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's an extraction. It's not an extractive nature. You can actually be adding to the volume. And so I don't really have a good fish example of this, but I will give you a plant one, which is when you go to gather camas. Do you guys know camas, the purple flower with the bulbs? When you gather camas, you go in and you dig the bulb and you keep the big bulb, but oftentimes there's little bulbs that are around that big bulb. And what you're doing is, one, you're loosening up the soil, right, which is making it easier for that bulb to expand. The bulbs will also dive deeper and deeper and deeper if they're not dug. So if you dig them up, they actually will stay closer to the surface, which makes it an easier place to gather over time. But you're also spreading out those little bulbs that you leave in the ground. You only take the big bulb, you leave the little ones. And so next year, you might actually find that you have 5 times as much camas as the year before, simply by digging the camas. Like, action can actually be a good thing. It's like how we use fire today, right? Fire is an extremely important part of Kalapuya history and heritage and culture. But how we use fire today is we use it in agricultural methods to like clean the slate, right? Wipe it clean. But you can actually burn in methods through a mosaic, through different cold temperature burning, these nuances of fire management so that you actually create abundance, not clear the blank slate. Like we do that, loggers do that when they do broadcast burning, or traditionally how that was done, where you just burn the whole thing flat. So you can use it as a tool of modern agriculture, but there's these indigenous ways of burning that actually can promote abundance over time. And it's just a different way of kind of looking at the world.